He's a big knowledge fountain on the area of IoT. And he investigates IoT in very strange places all over the world, and was once attacked by a seagull while trying to enrich his knowledge on IoT. I'm not sure if he's going to tell you about that, but later during the question session with the speaker, definitely ask him about it if he doesn't talk to you about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome up onto the stage, JANJONGBOOM.
Hi. Yeah, so the story with the seagulls, actually, it's kind of funny. I was hired by telco to start working on an IoT network in Oslo. And because I literally did not know anything about IoT networks and gateway planning, they sent me to an existing network in Switzerland. So I'm climbing there with their local technician up on the roof, and it was next to the Lake of Geneva. And unbeknownst to any of us, a seagull had nested there. So we see a seagull start flying up and making diving attacks closer and closer and closer to us. And that's literally the only time I've jumped off a building. 3 meters high, didn't suffer anything, and we completed the project there. So the next 20 minutes, we're going to talk about the Internet of Things. We're going to look at the impact, maybe bad, maybe good, that it might have on society, bridging with the previous section. We're looking at the current state of IoT security. And we're looking at the perception, like what do people think that the Internet of Things is? And how we should change people's perception, whether it's VCs or your customers, to make the Internet of Things an actual success. I like my slide better, opening slide. All right, so my name is JANJONGBOOM. I'm developer evangelist for the Internet of Things at ARM. ARM is a semiconductor company in Cambridge, UK, and ARM specializes in building very power-efficient processor cores. So you'll find our processors in literally every mobile phone and a really big part of smart and connected devices. Normally, when I do a talk somewhere in the world, I show a picture of Amsterdam, showing where I come from. But given that we're already here, with 10 minutes away from my house, a picture from Bali. Who here has read this book, The Circle, by Dave Eggers? All right, so for those of you who don't know, you don't need to read the book, because later this year there's a movie coming out starring Tom Hanks and Emma Watson. But the book describes basically life at a technology company, a bit similar to Google, a bit similar to Facebook, with big campuses and young people that are all happy and well-paid. That all starts in a way to change the world. And one of the inventions that I had in the book was the C-Chains camera. This is a still from the movie. And the C-Chains camera provides you with the ability to send a live HD feed, audio and video, from anywhere in the world without the need to charge the camera or the need to have a Wi-Fi connection or anything available. And this first is an amazing idea, because there's a lot of information in the world that we can easily process if we have visual access to it. For example, when I was reading that book, I was writing my own book, and I love to write on Sundays at this cafe. This is a pic from Het Paleis, in the Paleisstraat here in Amsterdam. But before I was heading over there, because it's next to Palace at Dam Square, and it might get overcrowded with tourists, I would love to know if this spot was available there, because this is the best spot in Café Het Paleis. You're sitting a little bit secluded. You have access to the power next to it, so it's absolutely fantastic. But the only way to know whether that place is available is by going over there, or calling someone and ask, like, hey, can you inspect that for me? So that triggered me to start working on my first IoT device. This was about 2.5 years ago. In the blue circle, you see something that resembles the C-Chains camera a little bit, only it's 3D printed and white and doesn't look like an eye. And the idea was that you had adhesive material on the back, so you could stick it anywhere. It would work for a full month. And whenever you wanted to get visual information from that camera, you just go to URL, it wakes up the device, snaps a photo, and sends it back to you. It worked for about a month at a throwaway price point, 20, 30 euros, and it would be open for anyone. As long as you had the URL, you could control the camera and see this information. I thought it was fantastic. When I pitched this to Telenor, it's a Norwegian big telco, a bit like KPN, they were sold immediately. They gave me a project team of 3 people and some budget to work with, because they saw the potential here as well. Like, one of their use cases is, well, I'm in my cabin, or I want to go to my cabin, but is the snow melted yet or not? That's something that Gonzo could help really well with. So we started building that. It was picked up by a number of media outlets, including tweakers.net here in the Netherlands. And people were very quick to draw the combination with the circle here. And everyone was happy, everyone was joyful, and we thought we had an amazing idea, and we had 2,000 people signing up on our mailing list saying, yeah, I want a Gonzo, like, let me know when it's available, I want to buy it right away. But just as with the C-Chains camera, there's a downside to the story as well. Because we're looking at this opportunity with our pink-colored goggles. And in the book, The Circle, things go downhill pretty quickly. So first, the ability to have a camera that's always on starts being used by law officers, a bit similar to how body cams work in the US. You have a constant feed and see that the police is not doing anything wrong. Well, pretty simple. After that, fashion bloggers start using it, give an insight in their life and become internet celebrities. But then it goes further from there. People are starting to demand that politicians are going to wear this camera as well to go transparent to their voters. And before you know it, you're in a society where everyone who doesn't wear one of these cameras probably has something to hide. And here we are in a surveillance state. For Gonzo, so this was two of the quotes in the book, secrets are lies and privacy are theft. For Gonzo, it didn't go that bad, but right after we gained quite a lot of press, this happened. So the Wire forum took a very particular interest, because checking whether your favorite space in a coffee place is available, that technology is also very interested if you want to sneak on prepubescent girls that are changing in the locker rooms. Being part of a telco with 40,000 people, they didn't like this press. I'll tell you that. Another example of how technology can, at one point, look like an incredibly good idea with only benefits is the trackers that people build to track endangered species. There's a number of companies that build GPS trackers, for example, for elephants or for tigers. There's one company here in the Netherlands, Sodec, who's doing right that. And it's an amazing idea, because if you're a scientist and you want to know about the breeding habits of an endangered species, being able to track them and see whatever they're doing and who they're interacting with in their herds is really valuable information. But once again, if you stop looking at this with your pink-colored goggles, you see that it's also a big attack vector. And it's widely thought that hunters discovered the classified radio frequencies of the GPS collars fitted on some of the wolf population in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, and used them to track and kill a number of wolves that were tracked for research purposes. In India, there have been documented attacks, and I've put the link to the research subject there, so in case you want to look at this. In India, there have been attacks at the email server of an environmental behavior organization because they were tracking white tigers, and poachers love white tigers. So this was for them the easiest way of getting access to that. This is freaking dangerous. And in a way, this boils down to like how much negative impact does a project like this have? Boils down to, well, security or lack thereof. And as IoT developers, we don't really care about security at this moment. I think one of the greatest demonstrations of this was shown last year by a university research group. And they advised an attack at commercial lighting systems. If you look at where IoT currently shines, then it's in industrial spaces and often in lighting fixtures. Because they're easy, they're relatively simple, they're cheap, plus if you automate your lighting, it's really easy to cut cost. You can just pull down the lights, do analysis on whether people are on the floor, etc. They attacked the Philips Hue lights, which are made here by Philips, and are used a lot in industrial spaces. And they found a bug in Philips' firmware update mechanism that allows you to use a wireless technology, Zigbee, that they're based off, send a new firmware to the lamp, to the light source. At that moment, there's a bug somewhere in the verification algorithm and gets updated. And this way, they could upload their own firmware onto the lights. It's not that bad if you think about it because, well, you need to be close to the lights, etc. But it gets worse if you realize that all these lights are a mesh network. And if you infect one, you can make this spread throughout the building through light sources that are close enough. So to do the actual attack, they took a drone, which you see on the left here. They have a transceiver on it, and then it just flew past the office building, infecting a few lights, and after that, it spread like an actual worm throughout the building, a real IT worm. When I saw that, that is amazing. You see a drone pass by and slowly changing all the lights, doing an SOS pattern. There's a video in that description as well. It's another one from last year. It was a record-breaking DDoS, the distributed denial of service attack, the biggest one we've ever seen. And that was because someone found a leak in cameras that are connected to the internet, and they could use that to do that attack. It's crazy if you think about it. And the whole, like, why are we in this situation? Well, because adding connectivity to things is so incredibly cheap. This is a pregnancy test that is Bluetooth enabled. It's just amazing. Like, why would anyone put this on? Well, I don't know, but look at any Kickstarter project that you see. There's always Bluetooth involved. I saw a damn exercise stick for $150 on Kickstarter, had Bluetooth on it. Pretty amazing. It's good for your posture. Why are people doing it? Well, the connectivity is becoming so cheap. This chip that you see in the right corner, is a chip from Nordic Semiconductors. It's the same chip that's, for example, in the Fitbits. Provides Bluetooth connectivity for about $1. But the perceived value of a connected device is way higher, so that's where all of a sudden an operating margin is for developers. So they're doing that. But even though the chips are really cheap, the software practices people are using to do embedded haven't changed. People writing embedded software for these devices still treat it like it's an unconnected device. In a way, if you're looking at IoT security and the way that people develop for the Internet of Things, it's literally like we're back in 1999 and we're doing PHP magic quotes all over again. Literally, everything is unsecure by default. If you have an IoT device that has a bit technology speak, but has a flat address space, there's not even isolation. It's like running everything like in Windows 98, everything with admin rights. So having your IoT device hacked is literally the same as like the I love you virus in 1998. Just double click on one weird attachment and bam, your whole network is infected. It's dangerous. So in a way, if we want IoT really to succeed, we need to have a renaissance on IoT security. We need to go from the Middle Ages to modern times. And that's something that doesn't happen overnight, but it's something that we really need to start thinking about. Because if we don't take security seriously, and you're going to put out devices out there that are unsecure by default, it means that your systems will get hacked. And even though you think that, well, the data that I'm gathering here, it can't really do any harm. People are going to find ways to harm your population, just as they're going to hack your GPS signals, your GPS radio frequencies to kill off a bunch of wolves in a national park. And then the last thing, even if we manage to fix security, even if we manage to reduce the negative impact on society on IoT, there's still this problem of getting the money to actually do something useful. I mean, I've spoken to a bunch of people here, like everyone is an entrepreneur or a wannabe entrepreneur. You want money either from VCs or from B2B customers. And this is where the biggest challenge in IoT right now is. Is the device that printed this bread, or toasted the weather report for tomorrow, is it an IoT device? It gets the data from an internet service, then toasts the weather report on it. I'm not sure. Do you think it's IoT if I said that this was actually done in 2001 already? This is old as shit. Every time I've seen a Kickstarter project that said, we are the first smart toaster. I'm like, no, you're not. That was 2001. We already did this. But this is what people think of when they think about IoT. I call it a bit like the we put a chip in it movement. Like, water bottle, chip in it, bam, smart. Whiskey bottle, bam, chip in it, smart. A Wi-Fi kettle, or my favorite, the Huggies Tweet Pea, that literally sends out a tweet whenever your baby gets wet. I wish I was joking here. When people think about IoT, and especially the people in positions where they can make decisions and where they can dole out the money, this is what they think of when they think about the Internet of Things. And that's something that we need to get rid of. And I love that I finally had a use for this animation. Like, if I'm thinking about Internet of Things, I want to think about bigger systems. Stop thinking about just a sensor with connectivity. Like, after Taylor killed the Gonzo spy cam, they asked me to do another IoT project. And this is a real-life project that we actually deployed at their headquarters in Norway. So Telenor is a big company, 40,000 people, 4,000 buildings that they own in Norway alone, and a big campus with 15,000 workers just outside of Oslo. If you've ever been in Norway, Norway is incredibly expensive. As in, you easily pay 11, 12 euros for a beer. It also means that the cleaning staff is incredibly expensive. So the cleaning staff that we had at our headquarters costed us about 80,000 euros a person. So when they asked me, hey, shall we do an IoT project? Well, they didn't come to me and say, hey, we want to do an IoT project. They said, well, we think that we can cut costs with technology. Do you want to help us think about that? And I said, yeah, sure. So we started getting real-time insight in toilet usage. We didn't put a gonzo inside. I saw you guys all thinking that. No, we'd rather have a simple magnetic sensor outside, and whenever the door closes, we count, and whenever the door opens, we count again. We fed that data straight into their facility management system. And from there, we can actually start doing automated planning. So when a whole department is gone for a couple of days because they're at a trade show, we don't need to clean this. If it's really busy somewhere because there is a conference internally, we can up the number of cleaners there. And all of a sudden, then it starts to shine. It's not the 400 sensors that we made that maybe cost 10 euros a piece. It's this whole conscious system that all of a sudden is making decisions on its own. It's computer data coming in, and it's decisions made by a computer coming out, and what happens in there is a big black box. Like, Internet of Things is not sensors, it's not smart things, it's not dumb things with a chip on it. It's this conscious being where sensors and data intelligence come together. And then also you're going to see that hardware costs in that sense are negligible. The whole project that we did in Telenor costed us about 6,000 euros in hardware. And it saves 160,000 euros annually just on that. So if you want to start making money off the Internet of Things, then stop thinking about sensors. Start thinking about this whole solution. Start thinking about, oh wait, but if I sell my customer on this, if I have a pitch deck and I want to show where the money is going to be, don't look at the sensors, look at the whole big picture. One of the great examples I saw was in Michigan, in a town called Holland, actually. It's pretty good. In there it gets really cold, about minus 15, minus 20 degrees in the winter. To mitigate that, they have hot water pipes running below all the main roads in the city center. You can pump hot water through it, snow melts, and quality of life for people was better. However, it's really expensive because heat requires energy, and energy is expensive. So one of the guys in the municipality got a starter kit, really simple development kit, like an Arduino with some sensors. Started hacking that up, costed him about a week, with a simple temperature sensor and a simple wetness sensor to see how much snow there is. And for him, it's not about the sensors. He didn't even know anything. He's not an embedded developer. He just sticks a bunch of sensors all around town. But now he has real insight in how much snow is melting and how hard the system needs to work. And all of a sudden, this system is making money for the municipality. I think that's where everything comes together. If there's one thing that you take away from this talk today, it's Internet of Things, is sensors, and data intelligence. It's the whole package, not just one of these things. So with that, I want to come to my conclusion. One, always think about the social impact that your product might have. Stop looking at every problem with your pink-colored goggles and start looking at what if an attacker gets access to this data. And with that comes, you have a responsibility not only to your users, but to society as a whole, to treat users' data with confidentiality. Let your system not be the system that killed 8 wolves in a national park. And the last one, think about the perception. Work on that. Work on that with your customers. Work on that with your VCs. That's the only way you can start making serious money with IoT. With that, thank you.
Well done, Jan. Thank you very, very much.
No problem.
So Jan is going to take off his microphone real quick, and then he's going to go off to the speakers lounge over there to answer any questions like, hey, what are useful IoT solutions? Or how did you secure the toilet thing at Telenor so that burglars can't just come in when there's nobody there? I haven't heard him give the answer to that one yet. But I'll give you about 2 minutes to run in and out, and then we'll see you for the next speaker.